Hi, it's Julianne Jones, and I've been thinking a lot lately about parenting. I have two teenage boys, and people tell me all the time, and have ever since my kids were little, how lucky I am that they're so well behaved. And it used to always annoy me. Now I just kind of laugh it off, but especially when they were little, because their dad and I were really intentional parents. And it's harder to be an intentional parent than it is to not be. In other words, we decided very early on that we were going to be in charge, and our kids had limits. And it was during a time, in the mid '90s when we were being told, don't just completely baby-proof your house, and basically let your kids. You don't want to crush their little spirits, so let them have the run of everything. And we didn't. That wasn't our philosophy. What we really felt was that we needed to teach them that there were going to be limits in their lives, and so our kids learned that no meant no. And that if they were told no and they did it anyway, that there was going to be a consequence. And I've been thinking about how that related for me when I started my party plan business, because as I worked with my hosts, what I learned early on was I really had to sort of educate them about how to treat me. In other words, I owned my value as a consultant. I knew that I was bringing them great value. Not only were they going to get a bunch of great products from me, but they were also going to have an experience with their friends. I was going to show up and really provide a great experience. They were going to learn something. They were going to have a chance to get together. My parties were really, I thought, valuable. And I owned that value as I was offering the booking opportunity at an existing party. And if the host said, yeah, I'd like to do that, and I said, okay, great, and all I need for you to do is to meet with me in a week or so we can plan your party, get me your list and postage, and let's choose your party date. If any one of those three simple steps, the host said, no, I don't want to do that, then I pretty much would say, that's just how I always do it. I find that works the best, and I want you to have the most successful party as possible. And so I just always require each of my hosts to meet with me either over the phone or in person to get me back that guest list and postage so I can send your invitations for you, and to make sure that we choose your date within about 30 days so that the existing host gets credit for your booking, whatever that looks like for you in your compensation plan. But the point is, I had those business principles in place. And just like with my kids, no meant no. So if the host was sort of bullying me and saying, well, I don't have to do that. I'll send my own invitations. I've done these parties before. I don't need you to do that for me. Basically, my answer was, gosh, this is the way I always do it. And no means no. So if I've set up a rule and I stand by it, and you decide you don't want to follow that rule, then the consequence is I'm not going to give you my time as a host. Now, I didn't say that, but that was the mindset. And it was really, really quite similar to how I then and still do parent. And what I found by doing that, and this is the key, not only are now my boys are teenagers, and believe me, they're not even anywhere close to perfect, and I still have challenges with them, but for the most part, those kids understand that if I say something and I mean it, no means no. And also a directive means you need to do it or there's going to be a consequence. That we've set that foundation for them through that hard work. And so they show up the way that they're supposed to. And with the hosts that I used to work with, it was exactly the same concept. I set them up from the beginning. I told them what my requirements were. I held them accountable. And so they showed up at that level because that's what I expected from them. So, I want you to think about how you're showing up for yourself with your potential hosts and maybe make a change. Because what I know is you do have great value. I say that at every live event I do. That's how I end each event. You have great value, not only as a consultant, but also as a person. And I want you to own that value and expect to be respected by the host that you're giving your time to. I hope that this provides some food for thought for you. I'd love to know what your thinking is on this. So if you want to leave a comment down below, I'd love to hear that. Go out and create a great day.